Hello family, my name is Igor, welcome to Geek Anime channel. I have some amazing news for you. Rotten Tomatoes just released some new synopsis for almost every episode of Season 3. Of course, I'm gonna take a little break of my rewatch of Season 1 and 2 and deep dive into those synopsises and of course episodes names. But before we begin, as usual, I wanna thank everyone who's supporting me on Patreon, here on YouTube. Your donations and your support, this is the loudest applause for me. I appreciate it very much and I will do my best not to disappoint. So let's dive in. So the first episode, titled Shatter, and the synopsis is: Boyd feels the town slipping away from him as the weather grows colder and the residents more desperate. So this is gonna be the first episode. Obviously we've seen some already shots from this episode in the trailer, and obviously here where Boyd is just coming back from his injury when he was shot in the end of season 2, and he's trying to talk to Ethan and he's trying to talk to Christy and Donna, and they tell him like there's no more food. I think it's very likely to assume this is the first episode, and in this first episode we're gonna lose already someone from our main characters. Whether it's gonna be Christy or Mrs. Liu, I still don't know who it is, even though most of the clues kinda point to Mrs. Liu here. So this night, when the scary grandma attacks Ethan and Julie, and probably everything that happens after that, the scene in the barn, the cows being killed, all of that, this is the first night and probably the first episode. And during this episode, as I told you, we're gonna lose someone, and they put in this shot for us to assume that this is Mrs. Liu. I hope not, but I also hope it's not Christy, because I love both of those characters. And the second episode is titled When We Go. Boyd struggles to find a path forward as the town says farewell to one of their own. Fatima's health takes a turn for the worse, and Tabitha finds help from an unlikely ally. So Boyd struggles to find a path forward as the town says farewell. This is what I told you right now. In episode 1 we're gonna lose someone, and this scene of the funeral and the memorial here, when we see the same plate like the one Mrs. Liu made for her husband in season 1, kinda makes us think she's the one who's gonna die, and it's probably also gonna be in episode 2. Also this scene where Fatima is finding a lot of blood in her mouth, she's losing teeth or something like this. This is kinda, you know, like health getting worse, like we read in the synopsis, probably also from the second episode. And Tabitha is the one who's gonna find an unlikely ally. Unlikely makes me think it's gonna be the priest, because, you know, like this is somebody who's probably not gonna believe you too much, even though priests are supposed to be good, great even listeners here. I don't think it's this guy, because this is more of a likely ally. He's probably somehow connected to Eloise, to Victor, so this is a likely ally. Let's get back a little bit to the name of the episode. When We Go, I watched a video of Jeremy Ice and Fire, and he thought about something amazing. Actually, if you remember in season 1, when Jade was talking to Mrs. Liu, he told her like, when we go, they go with us. He was talking about his grandma that he lost when he was in France. This way Jade tried to help Mrs. Liu to feel less guilt that she's gonna leave this place. This is when they all thought they're actually gonna leave this place, when they built this radio tower there. Yeah, this is amazing, and this is probably another clue that we're gonna lose Mrs. Liu here. Episode 3, Mousetrap, okay? Kenny leads a group into the forest in search of food. Donna and Alice try to talk Boyd out of a dangerous plan. Tabitha makes a mind-bending discovery, and Fatima questions the welfare of her unborn baby. So Kenny leads a group into the forest in search of food. Can it be this moment? Maybe, I don't know, even though it's kinda hard for me to call two people a group. Maybe technically it is, but I don't know, I doubt it. Now Donna and Alice try to talk Boyd out of a dangerous plan. I don't think we've seen something like this in the trailer. Then Tabitha makes a mind-bending discovery. This is probably where she's gonna meet that old dude, and she's gonna see some images, and it's gonna tell her like the bottle tree is here, and there is a connection between the outside world and the Fromville. Now episode 4, There and Back Again. Boyd is forced to make a tough decision when newcomers arrive in town at nightfall. Victor unearths memories from the past in the hope of finding answers. So There and Back Again gives me vibes of The Hobbit. Obviously this is not the first time when the writers are using some children books for the names of their episodes. We had this in episode 10 of season 1, The Places We'll Go. This is basically a nod to Dr. Seuss's book, The Places You'll Go. And as I told you, we have some tough decisions to make, and Victor unearths memories from the past and how to find answers. This is probably this moment. This is what unearthed means. It's in the earth and she's digging it out. And he's gonna probably find something very interesting for us crazies here that wanna build as many theories as possible. And Boyd is faced with tough decisions. This is the second night. When I made the analysis for the trailer, I argued that this is 2 nights because Boyd is wearing different clothes. Same monsters are being simultaneously in 2 different places, which happens with monsters. They know how to teleport apparently, but still, these are gonna be 2 different nights. And yeah, Boyd's breaking point where he can't save them all is gonna be way longer, probably during every episode of this season. And episode 5, Light of Day. Victor must face a painful reminder of his past. Julie looks for ways to cope with her trauma. She has way too many. She lost her mom, she was trapped in some cellar while she was, the same time she was at home and she was being tortured. Too many traumas there. Boyd struggles to keep the town safe as the residents begin to question his judgment. There's gonna be a mutiny. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, let's throw Boyd to the ground, whatever. Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings. Okay, there is a theory that Tabitha is gonna come back to the town with the ambulance. She's gonna find maybe an ally, it's gonna be a policewoman. I myself don't subscribe to this theory. Even though the actress who plays Tabitha, she said in an interview that she really enjoyed the scene with Jim. It was very scary scene in season 3, so they gonna meet somehow. I don't know how, but they are gonna meet somehow, and maybe she is gonna come back with the ambulance. I don't know how, but maybe it's gonna happen. And Tabitha tries to adjust to her new surroundings, can be interpreted as, she's coming back to Fromville, but why new then? Because of the use of the word new here, it kind of makes me feel that Tabitha is still there, still outside. She didn't come back with the ambulance, so in my opinion this theory kinda goes out of the window. Now Victor must face a painful reminder of his past. I think this is the scenes that we have seen in the trailer. He's reliving that night again, that morning when he saw the massacre and he saw the boy in white in the merry-go-round, and we're probably gonna get some new information, otherwise what's the point to bring this scene again? And this moment kinda makes me feel like, yeah, Tabitha is trying to adjust to her new surroundings. She feels a little bit lost and those are the new surroundings. I'm not necessarily saying that this is exactly the moment, but I think in episode 5 she's still gonna be outside. And episode 6, Scar Tissue, another name that kinda right away brings me some association, mostly with Red Hot Chili Peppers song Scar Tissue. And Scar Tissue basically means, like you get injured and there is scar after that. You are healed, but you're not the same. I think this is the meaning of this episode. People are gonna get healed, but they are still gonna have this trauma, something that's left with them. They're gonna lose a lot of people probably in this season, and it's gonna be very difficult for them. But let's read the synopsis. Fatima and Ellis make a big decision about her pregnancy. What is gonna be? What is the big decision? She's gonna try to abort the baby. She's maybe feeling that this is not a human baby, this is maybe a monster or something else, or some evil deity. We don't know, but what else can it be? Like the big decision can be, okay, let's keep it also, but it also would mean that they thought about not keeping the baby. Boyd fears for the future of his family. Yeah, something's gonna probably happen there. People are actually getting tired with Boyd and his leadership, as we read in previous synopsis, and maybe they're gonna like take Alice as a hostage or something like this. I don't know, but tensions rise in the Matthews house. Have you noticed that so far Jim is never mentioned in the synopsises? Maybe he's not there already, and maybe the way Jim and Tabitha meet is by Jim also escaping this place. I think this crazy idea, not that crazy, but I'm gonna explain it to you a little bit later. Right now, Randall opens up to Marielle about his fears. This is probably this moment in the trailer when he's talking about, people are thinking it's the scariest thing is to die. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but it kind of feels that way. And obviously Randall, he has some connections with Marielle because both of them were trapped in the end of season 2, and probably they are the only people besides Julie who know what their experience. So they're probably gonna connect, and Marielle talking here and connecting with Randall also kind of makes you think a little bit about losing Christie. Anyway, this is the moment that I talked about. You know, Randall is talking about the scariest thing here is not death. And episode 7, These Fragile Lives. The edges begin to fray as concerns about Fatima's pregnancy deepen. So what I am starting to think right now is basically people are scared, there is no food, and they need someone to blame for them. And suddenly there is a miraculous pregnancy by Fatima, and she's gonna bring either Jesus Christ or the Antichrist. And people that are not happy with Boyd and tensions are rising, maybe they wanna kill the baby. Maybe, you know, this difficult decision or a serious decision that Fatima and Ellis took about the baby is basically, we're taking a baby, we're gonna escape. Boyd is obviously trying to protect them. This is why his concerns about his family are rising here. And I think there is a group of people here that's gonna try to kill Fatima so this baby will never be born. Jade follows a clue trail into the forest. Okay, this is the moment with the red hat that made everyone crazy, me included, and Julie and Randall seek a bit of normalcy. As I told you, like, those people can connect. 3 of them were trapped inside some mystical cellar. They went through torture and they obviously know what the other one went through, and this is why they can connect. But Julie and Randall seek a bit of normalcy. I don't think there's anything romantic about them. There's like a big age difference. But once again, Jim is not involved, okay? Jim is not out there, and I would think, as we know, Jim is very protective of his children. Him seeing, you know, like Julie and Randall doing something together, and he knows Randall, you know, Randall is a little bit and can be a little bit dangerous, so Jim would probably want to stop something like this. So once again, where is Jim? And episode 8, Thresholds. Accusations start flying and truths come to light in the aftermath of a tragedy. Victor struggles to recover long-buried memories about the town's past. Julie and Ethan search for answers about the mysterious ruins in the wood. So accusations starts to fly, truths come to light in the aftermath of the tragedy. Which tragedy? Another one? Was it not enough, or it's still something in relation of losing Christie or Mrs. Lou? Whoever we're gonna lose, or maybe even both of them. And you know, like accusations, once again, maybe it's something about Fatima and her baby. You're gonna bring the Antichrist, he's gonna kill all of us. It feels a little bit natural to me, like natural not in the way that I would behave like that, God I hope not, natural in the way we usually see TV shows and movies develop. Yeah, so yeah, and Victor struggles to recover long buried memories about the town's past. So yeah, since it's episode 8 and we don't have any synopsis for 9 and 10, episodes that are called Revelations, so probably we're gonna have a lot of answers and probably even more questions in those 2 episodes, but probably one of the things that's gonna drive us to there is Victor finally remembering something. We know he's blocking a lot of memories. If you have seen my videos in my rewatch in episode 3 or 4 when he was talking to Ethan, he was like, no, don't talk to me like that, don't ask me this question, it's not good. Obviously some psychological blocks out there, but in season 1 and 2 he didn't want to uncover those truths, he didn't want to remove those blocks until he remembered about his sister. It was a traumatic experience for him. We remember how actor amazingly played this moment, but it's also something that kind of opens up the dam, you know, and now he knows that there is something there, and there is a lot of curiosity in Victor to actually reveal what else is there, what else he forgot, and we probably gonna learn a lot with him. Now Julie and Ethan search for answers about the mysterious ruins in the woods. Is this the same ruins where Julie was trapped and Boyd saved her, and Randall and Marielle? I don't know, probably, because it's hard for me to believe that, you know, the creators actually released those kind of spoilers right away before even episode 1. So maybe it's the same mysterious ruins, because we still don't know a lot about them. There is probably a lot of history about those ruins, since they can exist simultaneously in 2 different dimensions. Maybe there is something new, maybe there are some new ruins, some new location for us, which can be also very interesting and for me very fruitful as a YouTuber, but so far I'm not sure, and actually I even doubt it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to subscribe if you want more in-depth analysis of different TV shows, and yeah, see you on the next one. Bye!